Make what? So, what would you say? $150 a week is like the minimum you want to make?
Yeah.
Okay. So $150 a week. Okay, so that's how much per month if that's over 4 weeks. 600? That's $600 a month. All right. So right now you're at 4K. So that means that $600 a month. 600. How many more months do you have left in the semester?
Like 2 semesters left in the semester.
Yeah. How many more months do you have left in the semester?
4.
3 or okay. So we'll say you have only 3 weeks. So what's 3 times 600? Anyone? 900, thank you.
18.
Yeah, I was like 900, that doesn't make sense. 1800, okay, fantastic. You guys are just going to be my calculators because usually I have calculators and this one's way too slow. All right, so that means you want to make $1,800 over the campaign. Well, just to let you know, Eric, $1,800 over the campaign, that means that you would only need to sell, let's see, approximately 15,000? Does that sound about right to you guys?
30%.
Well, he's already at 4K. Okay.
$1,800.
About 15. You would have to sell about 15,000. Okay. So you would have to sell roughly about $15,000. Again, I would have a calculator next to me. I would be able to calculate this all out pretty quickly. If any of you guys have a calculator, that would be great. But
I got a calculator.
on your iPhone. Okay.
Right.
Awesome. So
$10,000
$2 grand, right?
So it's
if he wants.
10,000. So
He's already made $800. He needs to sell.
he's only got to sell 4 more.
Okay, so you only need to sell 9,000. Good news. You only need to sell 9,000, and so that's over. Let's see here. So 9,000 divided by 4 months is how much per month?
Is that an intentional growth?
Huh?
Starting high at 15 and going down?
No.
it's gonna be
9,000 divided by 4. How much is that per month?
2250.
2250. And if you divide that with my magic calculator that's over here, 2250 divided by 250.
Only 9.
9 orders. And then if you divide that by 70%, that means that you only need to do 13 demos. And so you said you did how many last week? 4. Okay, so anyway, well, 13 demos. Let me go ahead and show you what that would look like. So, by the way, that would mean that you would sell. $9,000. That means you would be making $1,800 over the campaign. So, how would you feel about that? Okay, well, cool. So, by the way, just to let you know, if you were working like, let's say you went down the street and got a job at AutoZone or something, and what do you think they would start you off at? Like maybe $7 an hour. So, how often do you think you would work? Like 20 hours a week or something? Yeah, if that.
I don't know about that, but it's a lot of work.
Right. Okay. So let's say they start you off at like we'll say they're generous and start you off at 20 hours a week. So 20 times 7 is $140, right? So minus taxes. So you'd be bringing home maybe like $1,200 or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how you could work less yet make more money. So would you be pretty down with that?
Definitely down with that.
Okay, cool. Well, what I'm going to have you do is I want you to go ahead and put A's wherever you would be able to put appointments in your schedule. So go and put A's wherever any possible place. So obviously you wouldn't be able to do it in school. Make sure to plan out the team meeting, and that's on every Wednesday nights from 7 to 9, just as a reminder. So you want to make sure to plan that out. And so I want you to put A's every place that you could possibly do appointments.
You definitely gonna do it. You'll do it.
All right, so we're going to pretend you did the whole thing? Okay, fantastic, right? So, no, it takes a little while. That's fine. All right, so, okay, that's great. So you got like close to 40 appointments in here, so that's awesome. So, and we only need to fill up 13 of those. Now, of course, I know that you got studying time, you got all that other stuff. Well, here's the thing, is we're going to do studying time here in a second, but first thing is that one of the most important things that is really not something that you could really, move around, and that's phone time. Study time, I was a student, I used to study at like 10 o'clock at night, that's fine, but you can't really call people at 10 o'clock at night, if you know what I mean. So here's what I'm going to recommend, is I'm going to recommend that we do phone time every single, at the team meetings. And so what time do you usually wake up to go to school?
usually wake up at like 7:15.
7:15? Okay. All right, so you're pretty much at school like early in the morning, is that right? So if you want to do 13 demos per week, which by the way, I would say is pretty average, like a pretty good goal for like somebody who has the amount of credit hours that you're taking. So if you want to do 13 demos per week, here's the phone times I would suggest. I'm writing in pencil right now so you can erase them, but I'm just going to put them in because this is what I would recommend if I were you. So I would do phone time on Tuesday night from 7:30 to 9. And, you know, I might study after that. I might go have fun if I, you know, did something, you know, if I was able to study before that and, you know, get everything figured out. On Thursday night, I would totally recommend phone time. Do you remember how I talked about how Thursday nights are so important?
Yeah, you see a whole lot of people there.
Yeah, and also, you have the rest of you. This is going to be your biggest time to do demos, you know?
A weekend, yeah.
Totally, for sure. So I would totally make sure that you come to that phone gym for sure. Saturday morning, you know, Eric, you've been doing such a great job. I would actually like to invite you to the Rising Star meeting, and that's from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. This is not an obligation, it's an invitation, so I'm just going to go ahead and write it in your schedule, though, just so you don't forget about it. And after that, we're going to be doing phone time as well. Saturday morning's a great time to do phone time. Why is that?
People are home.
Yeah, totally. Everybody's home. Like my mom used to, you know, drive the vacuum into my door, you know, every Saturday morning and try to get me woken up. And then Sunday night, for sure, let's do some phone time there as well. So, you know, I would definitely, I can guarantee that if you did phone time every single one of these times, there's no way that you could get anything less than 13 demos. So, how do you feel about that?
That was good. I think you can do that.
So, so there's a little hesitation in your voice, but that's cool. That's probably because you haven't done that before. But as far as studying time goes, what I would recommend, and you know, this is something that you know you can figure out on your own. We could discuss it right now. But you know, if you want to be more of a what we call a weekend warrior, this is where people who just like you know totally pack up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you could save all this time to do study time. And just make sure that you totally hit the books during the week. Or you could be like, you know, something that some of my representatives do is they do block off blocks of study time every single day, but are still able to do demos around it. So what do you think is more like your style?
I like the blocks of study time, doing demos throughout
Like
the
consistently? Okay. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I got rusty if I waited to the end of the week, so I totally understand. All right, well, how about you go ahead and block off what times you think would be best for study time around the week? Okay, fantastic. All right, well, hey, you can PDI me right before you do your study time. I'll call in for PDI, and I'll be able to help you out. So, so let's go ahead and you know, let's really shoot for these couple demos. And I'll tell you what, if you do 13 appointments, that means every single week, by the end of the campaign, you're gonna be at 14,000 because you've already sold 4,000.
Great.
Yeah, so you're gonna hit 4 promotions in just one semester.
Wow. I can't wait to do it.
How cool will that be? I mean, like when you are able to come home at the end of the semester or right to the career center or right on your resume, yeah, I was able to, you know, hit 4 promotions, you know, in one semester while taking 15 credit hours worth of class and being invited to a management training. I mean, you're gonna be like, yeah, I know. I'll definitely be pretty cool. But I'll also let you know, Eric, that if we sell, you know, $600 every single week, you're going to be on the newsletter every single week. I don't know if you remember, but over the weekend, if you sell over $500, you get on the newsletter to become a weekend warrior. And so, I mean, I'm pretty positive that if you do 13 appointments and keep doing what you're doing, and after we focus on the stuff that you're that we're going to work on today, your average order, your closing percentage are going to go where?
Go up.
Yeah, so if you continue to do 13 appointments, you're not going to just sell, you know, what do we figure out? $600 every single week. You're going to start selling like $1,000, $2,000. So when we're doing like the countdowns, you're going to be able to compete with Nick Matlack. How awesome will that be? Be like, what up in your face? It'll be awesome. So yeah, definitely. So anyway, well, let's go ahead and talk about let's talk about your closing and your average order. So, all right. So that's pretty much basically it. So Q&A. Any questions? Any?
How do you handle